everyone, Tammy here. I thought I'd bring you in. I have some Easter stuff I'm working on. I know it seems kind of early, but I've got to get this stuff done early. Remember, we make our templates out of old boxes or cardboard, or you can make them out of just about anything. Construction paper, newspaper. I make them out of old cereal boxes. And this is what I'm working on today. I figured if I'm working on it, I might as well share, right? So I've cut a bunch out. Some I've gotten a little further than others. I'm doing brown ones and white ones. On the white ones, I've already went and done the noses. And how I do the noses is I literally fold the bunny in half. I find where I want the nose to be. And then I just stitch about that long. Not real long, but just about that long. Then I just sew a couple of little buttons on for eyes. Isn't that kind of cute? Now you could do anything. You could take a toothpick, a broken toothpick, and put it there and sew it on. You know, it gives it that really rustic, country, vintage kind of look to it. And people like that. The only thing I'm not real big on is tea and coffee staining things. I do some, but I really, I don't know. I kind of like things real shiny and sparkly and country looking. I like them colorful and fun, you know, at the same time. So I don't really go to that extent often. I'm not going to say I don't ever. Often. And I won't be with these guys. I really like the way they're turning out. I have this one almost done. We're going to dress it up and I'll show you how cute it is once it's all done. It's all stuffed and stuff. I wanted to show you though how I do that. I do a blanket stitch. Remember the blanket stitch I showed you before? I do a blanket stitch around all of my items like this. I never use any other kind of stitch but blanket. This is just a whip stitch going back and forth. After I fold it, I just pinch the fabric and just whip stitch all around it until it's how I want it. And I want it kind of, I don't know if you can see that or not. I really want it kind of rigid, kind of sticking right up there, kind of hard. And then I just simply, at one ear at a time, I stuff. And I'll use like a wooden dowel to push it down. You could use a skewer. These, though, I find on this particular kind of project will tend to get caught on this batting. This is only batting. The brown is actually felt. And I wouldn't use anything other than either the batting or the felt if you're going to work on it. If you use fabric, it's kind of hard to get the look that you want. The batting and the felt kind of puff out when you stuff them, so you end up with a nice body. If you had regular fabric, it's rigid, like if you used cotton fabric, it's kind of rigid, so you wouldn't get it as full a bunny as I like to have. Alright, I'm going to get this stuff out of the way so we can work on, oh, and I showed you the eyes. We just sew little buttons on for eyes. That's all it is, just two little buttons. You know, you can be real fun about this too. You could put a big one and a small one, or you could put a blue one and a yellow one. You could do anything you want. This is yours. It's your art, your creative energy going into it. You make it however you want to do it. And I'm putting little eggs with it. I cut a little cardboard egg out for the bunny too, right here. And I've already stitched one up. And all I did was cut two pieces out of this. I folded it in half, and I just folded the felt in half, and I cut the shape of the egg out and took both pieces and put a blanket stitch around them. And that's going to be so the bunny can kind of hold it, like so. And I'm going to put some Sweet Annie. I have some Sweet Annie here. And I'm going to take some embroidery floss. You could use twine. You could use, oh my gosh, you could use just about anything. I might have some twine right here and do that too. That really sounds like a really cool idea. Nope, don't have it. So I'm going to use this anyway. This is what I intended on, so. I like the brown up against it. It kind of gives it that wire look. A lot of people that do vintage or primitive things will use wire. Not me, I'm always different. I like to do things different. First thing I'm going to do is just simply come around this bun to about there, and then I'm going to tie it. I'm just going to tie a little knot. Not real tight, don't want to choke the bunny. We just want to keep that thread in the back. That's where I want it anyway. You might want it somewhere else. Then I'm just going to wrap it. I'm going to wrap that all around it so it's all vicarious and going in all kinds of different ways. And then I'm going to put that egg right there. I'm going to wrap that on it too. So that bunny's now holding that egg. And then I'm going to join these strings. Whoops, that's going to be too much, so I got to make it a little longer. I'm going to join these strings in the back. I left a little tail when I tied the knot, so now I can tie these two together. And that keeps that good and rugged so it doesn't move on it. Move my little egg where I want it. Now you can actually stitch that egg on if you wanted to make sure, or put a little hot glue on it, whatever you choose to do. I just don't do that. You know, I figure when people purchase these, sometimes they might want to put a little tulip there, or they might want to put something else. So I make it so that if they want to actually take it apart and just have the bunny itself and dress it however they want, maybe at Valentine's they want to stick a heart there, you know. Or at Christmas, it's got a little tree. Anything. I mean, really anything. I'm going to tie a little bit more on because I want to put the Sweet Annie on too. So I left that tail. See, it's really hard sometimes to say, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, because every time I do it different. I never do it exactly the same. And I tell people that when I'm selling stuff in my description. I tell them all the time, no two are ever exactly the same. It's how I feel at that moment, or I might come up with a better plan or idea on how to do it. So I'll leave that little knot, and you don't have to be fussy about it. The whole idea is for it to be kind of rustic, vintage looking, so you don't have to trim all your little threads up and make everything all perfect. Then I have some Sweet Annie here. Oh, I grew a bunch of that in my garden this year, and oh, it didn't do as well as I'm hoping it will this year because I got the plants kind of late, but what I did get is really lovely. Then we're just going to wrap again. We want to wrap that Annie on there. And end it where the thread is so we can tie another knot. Just like that. Now isn't that adorable? Don't you just love it? You could take a little makeup, like blush from the store, or if you out of your makeup bag, and put a little pink here if you want, and a little pink on the ears. I don't bother. I like it just the way it is, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to make up a whole bunch of these, and these are awesome just to sit in a bowl or to sit on a shelf at Easter time, and just decorative, you know. All right, guys. I know it's not a big deal, but it's something fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you got something out of it, at least an idea or two. If you did, thumbs up, please. And if you're a subscriber, thank you. I am so close to that 1K. I can taste it. It's unbelievable. I cannot believe how close I am, and I am so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click on that button. And don't forget to ring that little bell. When you ring that bell, when you push on the bell, it's going to let you know when I post another video. And I'm trying to get a video out every day. Every once in a while, I just can't. Yesterday was one of those days. It was really crazy here, and I just could not get a video out. But I will get video out if I can, and it's been pretty steady. So, hopefully I see you tomorrow.